Matt Johnson here, Deck Talk Tip. This happens to be what many people call football jig, rock jig, roller jig, many different terms for this type of presentation, and I had many questions recently asking, what is it? How do you use it? How do you fish it? All those sorts of variations, how do you rig it? So we're going to quickly touch about the ever popular football jig in bass fishing. So as you can see, just like the term calls for itself, it's got a football shaped head, and the whole purpose of that is so when you're fishing hard bottom, you can keep contact, you can feel what you're casting towards, and you can make sure the bait's in the strike zone. You will hear the common term fish the transition, where it goes from soft to hard, or a weed line to hard bottom, and that's where casting this presentation up on top of that, you can feel it grinding across those rocks. If you have a sensitive G Loomis rod or whatever you might be fishing, you can feel those rocks, and that's oftentimes where the fish are holding. So big thing in terms of rigging, you can see here I got braided line because I've been fishing Lake Minnetonka, heavy cover, lots of milfoil, muskies, pike are present. However, I do fish a lot of 14-pound test fluorocarbon or 17-pound test fluorocarbon lines as well. They do sink, they keep close to the bottom with good contact. But whether it's a braided line or fluorocarbon line, both are going to get the job done depending on the situation. But how you rig it, you can see I got a little tail on there. This is just a creature type tail. It adds profile, presence in the water so fish can see it. Gives it a bigger profile so it might look like a crawfish being up against the rocks, a bluegill or a panfish or a bait fish scurrying down underneath the bottom of the lake, and it draws fish in from a distance. It also helps keep some of that tail end up so that bottom or that head of the bait grabs into the gravel a little more. So in terms of rigging it, pretty plain Jane, simple, many different brands and types out there of rock jigs, football jigs, roller jigs. Again, you might see different terms or definitions on how these are named. Those work exceptionally well. One of the biggest tips I can say in fishing one of these is if you know where the structure is that you're casting at, make a cast further than that structure, because a lot of times it's going to come back like a pendulum, swing back towards the boat, and you might miss contact with the bottom. The bottom being that hard bottom where the fish are, the strike zone, the hot zone. So make a further cast. If you're trying to hit a specific spot in your GPS, cast another 5, 10, 15 yards past it, so by the time it comes and settles to the bottom, you are actually slowly dragging that bait across the bottom, right where the strike zone is, and you're going to get bit. So a couple quick ways to fish the football jig. It's worked exceptionally well for me lately. We're in the middle of August now. The fish have staged out deeper on those deep hard bottom spots. The fish are there, they're schooling up, and they're eating this bait. So give this football jig a try if you haven't already, and good luck out there.